Hi, it's Mike. Today I wanted to talk about some of the major cities around the Phoenix area. We get questions all the time. I don't know where I want to live. Anybody going to a new area is going to have a hard time knowing where to go. If I just landed in Los Angeles tomorrow, I wouldn't know where I'd want to live. I think you'd always got to start out with where am I going to work, create a radius around there about depending on how far you're willing to drive. And once you do that, you can see what's available for homes. I'm going to use a map here. I'm going to share my screen here. And we'll go to a map. Over here. And, right here is Phoenix. Phoenix is the main city here. And I use this map with the freeways on it highlighted so you can see, where the freeways are. But this is basically Phoenix right here. And this is the I-10 freeway, and the I-10 comes into Phoenix. It goes south to Tucson. They call it east, but I say south. And then what's happened over the years is we've developed these freeway systems to kind of open the areas up in it for everybody to get around. So the first major freeway that was built around the 10, and the two that we had, the 10 and then this one coming straight up and down, is the I-17, which goes up to Flagstaff. Then they built this 101, the purple here, this 101 freeway that came all the way around the valley. And then everything kind of started branching out. Then they went out here, down here, and they built this 202. And basically the cities that you had out here within the 202 are Tempe, Mesa. Mesa's the second or third, depending on the stats that you look at, the second or third largest city in the state of Arizona. Mesa is a very large city. And, if you had to live way out here and commute in, to Phoenix, that would be a big commute. But what it's done by building this freeway out here is it's opened up some of these other areas to the south. So a lot of our growth is basically to the south and to the west. And then, we've had growth to the north. You have Anthem up here. Anthem's a really popular master plan community. And when it was built not too long ago, everybody said, wow, that's way out there. Well, it is pretty far out there, but there's been a lot of infill, along the way back into the city. So in the next freeway they built after this one, and again, we're talking within the last 10 years. Now they built this 303 out here, so you can connect from the I-17 and hit the 10 and head west toward California. It opened up this whole area in here. And now they just finished this 202 right here extension. And what that allowed us to do is we had a lot of truck traffic, semis coming into Phoenix from the west, from California. And then they would have to cut right through downtown Phoenix to get down to Tucson and head on their way. So we had a lot of clutter. So now those trucks can if they have to or need to or they want to, they can bypass Phoenix. Well, once this freeway now is built, this area Levine right here is really going to fill in. There's a lot of industrial in here, but at the same time, this freeway is really opening up this area. So, again, let's talk about, what are the main cities around Phoenix? And again, this is downtown Phoenix. Right here, we have Scottsdale. Scottsdale is a very narrow city. And then it goes north and south pretty far, like true north goes right up in here. So Scottsdale is basically, only a few miles wide, but it's mostly north and south. If this 101 freeway went straight up ahead up into here, this is where Scottsdale would end. And then, you have mountain ranges around certain areas where, you just can't get through. But in general, Phoenix was built on a grid system. You can see north, south, east, west streets. So overall, you have, again, with mountain ranges and stuff that get in the way, but otherwise it's pretty easy to get around. So what started happening is they built out these other freeways is areas started to grow. So now an area that's really under a lot of growth is right down here in Maricopa. And then, if you follow the 10 down, Casa Grande right here. So there's people that are living down here in Casa Grande, and they're commuting all the way up toward Phoenix to go to work. I mean, that's a big commute. So, work from home now, maybe a lot of people will be able to live out here and they don't have to commute, and then they can get a really affordable, newer construction home. Again, all these areas down the Santan Valley, Maricopa, they're building out a lot of new homes. And then if we go out to the west, Goodyear right here, Goodyear used to be way out there. And, now people can live in Goodyear and they can commute right into Phoenix. And now that this 202 freeway's in here, if they had to go south, they could go south. And then Buckeye out here, this is a really, fast growing area out here too. And then, you go up to the north off this 303 freeway, you got Vistancia right here, and you have other areas. People always talk about Sun City. They hear about the retirement areas. Well, Sun City is right up in here, right off of Peoria right here. And then you can see Sun City West. I mean, as they expanded Sun City, it's all the way up out over here. Well, from Sun City up in here, the only way you could get anywhere before was you had to come down to the freeway at the 101. Now you can get on the 303 and you can bypass certain areas if you want. So it's been really nice the way they opened it up. I live over here in Paradise Valley, Scottsdale area. But when we talk to a friend and they say, oh, I live on the west side, for the most part, they probably live west of the I-17, maybe west of this 51 freeway right here. That's what we call the west side. And over on the west side, what are some of the major cities? Well, Glendale's a big city. Westgate right here is where the Cardinals built their new football stadium. And once they did that, this whole area really started to develop. And again, not too long ago, when they built the stadium, a lot of this was farmland. And now a lot of it is, all single family homes and businesses and stuff. Peoria is a really nice place, and Peoria has grown, with basically the Cardinal Stadium and some other things. And then Peoria goes all the way up, the freeway, the 101 up in this area. So, the greater Phoenix area is right down in here. Your main city, Scottsdale, Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, Glendale, Peoria, Surprise up over here. That's a really popular area. And, it's not as easy to get, in and around the valley from here, because just to get into the freeway, you're definitely going to hit more traffic. But now you can actually get out on the backside and you can come down and cut through and cut over. So again, those are some of the main cities that you're dealing with. Up in north and just north of North Scottsdale, you have Carefree and Cave Creek. That area was a lot of horse properties and a lot of horse ranches up in this area right here. And a lot of those people, maybe they live on the ranch or they work, but there's a lot of new homes up in this area, and there's a lot more growth planned for this area. But, these people would commute down somewhere around the loop here, the freeway, for work. So, just again, depending on how far they want to commute, maybe from, here to the freeway is 30 minutes. It might take them during rush hour or something like that. So up in the 101 right here, North Scottsdale built this air park up in here, and the air park had a lot of industrial and a lot of businesses. So this was a big employment area. One time there was one of the bigger employment areas in the greater Phoenix area. So anyway, these are some of the main areas and main cities and the main freeway system to getting around. And depending again on how far you want to drive and where you work, that'll kind of tell you where you're going to want to live. And then you can start searching homes in those areas. Every area has, more or less expensive homes, but our most expensive city here is Paradise Valley, which is right just off of Scottsdale, in between Scottsdale and Phoenix, basically. If you really want to do some home searches and try something other than Zillow, Redfin, or the other websites, something a little more local, you can go to my website at www.askmike.homes, which actually will take you to my website called Scottsdale, Arizona Real Estate. We have information for, for buyers on here, and a lot of good information, sellers. But the one thing that we have too is a really good detailed home search. You can do a lot more in-depth detailed searching on this site than you can with Zillow. We also have, our some pre-made searches on here where you can, that are easy to click on. Useful information, title information, access to title company. We have access to some of our vendors that we work with, title companies and such. But, oops, that took me to my other website. And, we have a good blog on here where you can read some of the articles, and then you can click on here, get to our YouTube channel to watch some of our other videos we do on buying and selling homes. I'm going to put a link down below to some information about moving to the area. And also, there's a lot of good guidebooks out there. I have a good relocation guide. If you're interested in that, you can reach out to me and I can send you a copy of it. And if you have any other questions, let me know. So I'm going to go back to my screen here. What's going on here? And anyway, sorry about that. So thanks again for watching. Watch our other videos. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Please give us a like on our video. We spend a lot of time making these. We answer a lot of questions for people. And if there's anything else we can do to help you, we'd love to be your choice for a real estate agent. Thanks.